Hi, Becky. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Good. That's good.
Any ideas how big our group will be today?
I have no idea. It's just our folks. We'll just see. This is our first round anyway. I didn't want to pressure them,
Yeah, exactly.
but I did, market it. So
Uh-huh.
they all know about it, and just I have no idea though. But we'll go ahead.
It's no
We'll
worries.
we'll we'll press forward, and um, I'll be
And
recording the session as
good.
well.
I was gonna ask you because that way, if they don't come and they kind of go, oh, I should have gone, or I'm
Mhm.
curious, they
Yeah.
can look at it and then they can also feel free to contact me again
Oh, yeah, we can
if
share it.
they've got questions.
Yeah. So when we get started, I'll just do a quick introduction of you,
Okay.
and then I'll hand it off.
Okay. And I'm hoping to go smoothly. With these last minute kinks of Facebook
Mm.
changing things on me, it was kind of like, uh-oh. Who wasn't planning all these changes and they're still changing this morning. It's like, oh, you're kidding
Yeah.
me.
Change is inevitable in everything, I guess.
Yeah, but I feel sorry for someone who's on a learning curve. It's like, what it?
It's hard to keep up with
Yeah,
the
I don't want them to
technology.
be overwhelmed, so I try to downplay the tension and drama.
Wow. So how are things in Bend? Is it
Oh,
cold?
good. It's a very unusual rainy day.
Okay.
We
Wow.
don't get a downpour of rain hardly here.
Wow.
So, how about you? How you doing? See, you're in Long Beach?
Yeah. And I'm just looking out the window. It's really cloudy. So I don't know
Oh,
what that means. It's weird.
I just realized I didn't have my
Really
my
hot.
video on. Sorry.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to well, I didn't want to pressure you.
Sorry.
Some people don't like to be on camera, but
Oh,
there you
I
are.
don't mind. I don't mind. So
Okay, wonderful.
I
Yeah, I'm
just
just
fixed
looking out the
that.
window. It's really cloudy, and yesterday it was like 80 degrees, but today it's completely changed. So,
Same here. 2 days ago, we were in our mid 80s, and I was
mhm.
going, I don't have any summer clothes out.
Yeah, you have to be prepared one way or the other.
Yeah, it's that transition of time in the seasons.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. All righty. Well, we have a few more minutes. Any questions or any concerns going into this?
no, no, pretty good. I've practiced a few times. I even practiced on my husband, who really
There you
he's
go.
one of those people that's on Facebook, but he's more of a lurker.
Yeah.
And he'll post like every 6 months. And
Oh,
so,
wow. He's a
I talked to
lightweight.
him about what I'm doing. He's like, Becky, you're over my head. So I thought, oh, good. He's the person I want to test this on.
Yeah, he's ideal.
He was my guinea pig. So we did it, a couple of times and
Hmm.
just to get the timing.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's
so,
good. Yeah, that helps.
yeah,
Wow.
so I was really trying to keep it down to like 45 minutes. And then including questions, it might go up to an hour.
Okay. And
Because
that's fine.
the first time I went through with my husband, it was just slightly over an hour because he did ask a lot of questions.
Oh, okay. All right. So people will be stimulated. Um,
Yeah.
that's great.
And what helped with him was from a novice point, he asked me questions I forgot to put in the outline that I'd like to add later.
Oh,
And I'll
okay.
send you a new outline at the end of this, if that's okay with you.
Okay, sure. Okay, there are people joining. All right,
Oh,
great.
wonderful.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Amelia, welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay. Just finished work.
Hi, Ida. Good morning.
Hi.
Welcome. We'll get started in a minute. I'm still admitting people.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Are you still having ski? Are you still open for skiing in your areas?
Oh, yeah. The
Oh,
resorts
good.
are open, and people are
Yeah.
out there. So we did
Yeah,
have
I
a
was
good
worried we might
season.
lose a few to skiing today.
Uh-huh.
Good for them.
Wow.
Uh-oh, we got Todd in here. We got trouble.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay, it's just 1 minute, but we'll give everyone a few
Sure.
more minutes to get logged in.
Of course. It looks like Todd's having some troubles getting his audio going.
Oh yeah, he does. He does all the time.
Todd,
It's
you're
common.
Mr. Computer Guy.
I have my share as well, so it's not just him.
I know, and my connection where I live, we either have a good month or we have a bad month. Everybody in my little neighborhood here is like, oh
Wow.
man. But thank goodness for the internet during these COVID times, boy.
I know. Who would have thought all of this technology would have been so useful? Because we were just
Yeah.
dabbling in it, to,
That's so
but
true.
especially with church. I'm so
Oh, yeah.
glad we had already had virtual church set up. So it was great and timely for us.
What is
I
your
know,
church?
and I hate to say this, but I love my church now that it's on video.
Yeah.
I can still be in my
Yeah.
bathrobe, and I think they kind of do a better job. I hate to tell them
Yeah, it's
that.
more efficient. And yeah, I think
I
that,
do miss seeing them
yeah,
in person, but
well, it's less work, that's for sure.
yeah.
All righty, got a few more people coming in the waiting room and then we'll get started.
Okay.
Good morning,
And
Todd.
jump in.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Becky. Great to
Hey,
see you.
Todd.
Thank you so much for helping us with this. This is
Oh,
fabulous.
this is my honor because this has me pretty excited because I feel like there's so many clubs, even in my club, we're really struggling this year getting Facebook up and keeping it going. And some of my clubs that I manage or groups, it's really taken off in the pandemic. It's people have really connected, so that's exciting. So I'm hoping this sets a little wildfire in your clubs to get going and give them a sense of community that they've been missing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Most definitely, because it really has been challenging to keep people excited, and
Yeah.
so I think those organizations that have, through the pandemic, figured out ways to stay connected or get people connected, they are going to come out real well. But at this point, I think it's great for us to be able to, because there are, as you are aware, the snow sports industry tends to be a little older and may not be early adopters of technology. But I think that if our clubs can have a virtual connection, or at least a gateway to their organization, then I think that's going to be very helpful for them.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. I just want to say good
Okay. You want me
morning.
to go ahead and share my screen?
Just a moment. We'll do intro
Okay, you
first.
just let me know.
Okay.
Oh.
Just want to say thank you all for calling in. I'm so excited. This is a wonderful opportunity that we have. I ask that you stay on mute if you're not speaking. And then we'll have a Q&A session at the end. I
Or
just
can I
wanted to,
inject maybe a Q&A in between sections? I found
Okay.
that during my test with my husband, who's not very good on Facebook, that he gave me input that after I go through a section, just check in with everybody before I
Okay.
leave that section.
Okay.
So and then we
Well,
could do a big Q&A at the end.
sure, we can, but I'll hand it off to you and you can manage the Q&A as well.
Okay, I hope I can.
All righty, but I did want to give a little bit of background about our instructor. So happy to have her. Glad she said yes. Our instructor for today's seminar comes to you all the way from Bend, Oregon. She is the Far West Ski Association's Woman of the Year for 2019.
And
She
Todd.
she is the social media director for Bend Ski Club and also the Northwest Ski Club Council. Her strengths are mainly in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Google Groups for group emails, with Facebook as her favorite format. She is passionate about having fun, sharing information to various ski clubs in as an exciting and entertaining way as possible. She enjoys marketing and creating relationships between ski clubs and local communities to build up the enthusiasm for skiing. I give to you the Oregon Ski Bunny, Becky Robinson.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'm Becky, and like she mentioned, the Oregon Ski Bunny, that happens to be my email address, which is at the last page of your handout, if you got the handout. So after this session, if you have any questions, send me an email at oregonskibunny@gmail.com, and I'll be glad to hook up with you by email, text, phone, or we could do a Zoom where I could look at your screen or you could look at mine. So just let me know. So from here, I'm going to get ready to, oh, we got a couple of chats. Do you want to monitor the chats, Terry?
I'll take care of it.
Okay, great. And I'll go ahead and do the share screen.
Okay.
Oh, says host has disabled screen sharing. Can you enable me?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, and Becky, and just to give you a little background, we have representatives from clubs from the Bay Area as well as Los Angeles.
Wow.
We've got some clubs that have, and then Las Vegas. And we've got
Ooh.
some clubs that have Facebook pages and groups, and then some that do not. So we've got Pasadena on. We've got
Great.
a few board members, and so we've got a wide range. So you just have an idea of folks that you've got.
I got people from all over California. That is, wow, that's exciting.
And Vegas.
Okay, oh, still disabled here.
Okay, Becky, so I'm just going to make you the host.
Okay, maybe that's what we need to do. Okay,
And here you go.
okay. All right, let's see. Okay. Okay, so can you see my screen, everybody?
Yes.
All right, so I'm already logged into Facebook. So during this presentation I'm doing, there's no need to be following on your Facebook. If anything, follow along with what I'm showing you on the screen, make notes on the handouts I gave you, and that's all you have to worry about. Is just kind of just sit back, relax, and I'll take you for a ride here. So to begin with, can I understand that some of you don't have a page, or are going to be helping someone, I mean, not page, or a group, or some of you have a group already. I want to talk briefly. Facebook has two presents. They have a Facebook page, and that's mainly used by ski councils, your ski resort. It's more business oriented, it's very polished looking. It has some different tools than a group, but we're going to focus on a group today. And if later on you want to learn about pages, we'll hook up again. But I want to focus on groups because that's more community-based and a little friendlier to use for first time people using Facebook. And it's just a lot easier and a lot more funner, I think. So I'm going to focus on groups today. So Facebook made a change last night. So I apologize in your handout. I talked about being logged in first. And so I'm logged in. This is my home page here of my wall. But I'm going to stick to the very top line here. And I'm going to go way over to the far right. And I had a plus symbol in the handouts. Yesterday, they changed the plus symbol to this 9-dot grid. It's their new menu. So I'm going to click on that. And then unfortunately, let's see, I got to move my, got to move this around here a little bit. the Zoom thing was blocking my view. I scroll down to groups. So I go from the dots down to groups because we're going to make a group today.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to move this back over. And this is kind of cool. If you can remember the movie Wizard of Oz, everything is in black and white and kind of gray. This is your template here. Oops, I need to admit somebody else. Okay, another person just joined us. The first thing you want to do is enter your ski club name. So let's see, let's try Snow Chaser. Oops. Let's pretend that's your club. And the next thing is going to ask you, do you want to keep your club private or do you want it public? And this is another thing Facebook recently changed. I recommend you go public because that's why we're here. We want our clubs to be public so people can check us out and we can, show them who we are and hopefully get them to join our club. But they changed some of the security questions to let them, let you know who can be posting. So I'll go into that in a little bit more detail. But if you're not comfortable with having a public club, you might want to have a private club, which people cannot see the comments. They can search for you on Facebook way up here. Well, it doesn't show right now, but there's a search engine up here. But for ease, I really recommend that you stick with public, and you can always change it later if you don't like it. So let's go public. And for now, we're going to skip invite friends. We're going to save that towards the end because I like to think this setting up a Facebook page is setting up a party. And when you set up a party, you just don't tell people come and then think, oh, I need to go get food. I need to get the beverages. I need to get the music. I need to clean the house. No, you want to do all that first before you tell people to come over to your house. So setting up a Facebook group is like setting up for a party. That's how I see it. So from here, I click create. And just like Wizard of Oz, now we're in the land of color. So it's kind of a lot of fun here. We're going to spend a lot of time over to the far left side where it says admin tools. So where we're going to go down next to is settings. That's another area that you'll spend a lot of time. And I have this as a reminder at the last page, the places you're going to hang out the most. So we're going to click on settings. And we're just going to go right down through all the settings that they have. Another thing you'll learn about is the pencil. The pencil is for editing and deleting. So we're going to click on the pencil here. And if I made a typo earlier, I could change it right here, the name of my club. And then here is where I want to add the description of my club. And the things I want to say about my club is saying, hey, we're a fun group. We ski on the mountains. We take trips. We have monthly meetings. And if you want to know more about us, go to our website. So a lot of times, one thing I do is, I forgot one section is before I get started, I like to create a folder on my laptop. And I recommend everyone to use a laptop computer or a standalone computer and not your iPhone and not your tablet. You won't have many options. And so create a folder on your computer, and in that folder have like your club description, your club website if you have a website, your club email address if you have an info person or a phone number, information about your club. You might have something like that from your website and you can just steal it. And what I like to do is I like to put it in a Microsoft Word document or something like that. And so I happen to have one right here and I've already typed it up. And so I'm going to copy all this information about my club. And I select it. And this is one thing you should get comfortable with Facebook is they don't have they don't have copy and paste features like you do in Microsoft Word or some of your other programs. So I'm going to teach you how to copy and paste. So you're going to grab your cursor and select and drag everything you want copied. And if you're on a PC, you want to do Command Copy. And if you're on a Macintosh, it's Control Copy, excuse me, on a PC, and Command Copy on a Macintosh. And I'm just going to hide this. And I just do Command V, like in Velcro, because I always like to think of the word Velcro and paste, like things are sticking together. So this is all my text right here explaining my club for people to know about us. And I click Save. And for now, my group, I don't want to hide it. I want to keep it visible. So I'm going to leave it. Let's scroll down, sorry. And I'm going to keep it public right now. And if you want to say your location, okay, some of you are from California area, so let's just choose Long Beach. There we go. And click Save. And now we're going to go down to this exciting part here. This is a great marketing tool. Customize groups, web address. You're thinking, web address? What? That's not very exciting. Well, I'll tell you what's not exciting is looking up here. Look at the very top here where I'm highlighting it. Facebook issues you an ID for your club, and it's called 817426, that long number. Who's going to remember that? I'm not. So let's change that to your club name. So we'll click on the pencil, and we just click right in the box there, and we are called Snow Chasers Ski Club. Oops, club. Up there. And notice a couple of things here. One is I cannot, for some reason this week, go case sensitive, make this a capital C for club or a capital S for my club. I'm hoping that they'll fix that, but because up until a week ago, you could make that a capitalized. Also, notice how I smashed all the words together. You'll see why in just a second, why I do that. And I recommend you do not put spaces in between your words. So we're going to click Save. And it says, oh, there's an error. Sometimes, right, some of the things are rolling out lately. Okay, they don't. Maybe this, it could be someone else has this name already. So let me choose another one. We're going to be Powder Hounds. Oops. Ski Club. Oops. If I can just type. Okay, let's see if it takes this time. Okay, that one it liked. And so look up here, the magic has happened. Up here, it got rid of those ugly numbers. And so now I have an official new URL for my ski club. And so what I like to do, I like to select it all, do Control-C for copy. And then I like to put it in a little notepad for later. So this, I just put it down here for now. And so this I can give to my newsletter editor. She could put it, or he can put it in the newsletter saying, hey, come join us. This is our new Facebook group. It's easy to, see and recognize. I also, it's easy to send out in an email. It looks nice. And I also like to put it like in, let me see here, I'll show you. I do cards for whenever I go out skiing. Let's see, where is it? Oh dear, I had it saved here. Oh, well, obviously it didn't save to my folder. I apologize. It has like, come learn about ski, my ski club, and I'll have like Facebook, I'll have my web address. And if your club uses Meetup, I include all those URLs. So strangers I meet on the lift chair, they can learn more about my club. And a lot of times Facebook is the first place they'll go before they'll check out the rest of the club. So having a little piece of paper with this printed out and handed out on the chairlift is really cool. So I did that. So now we've got this all done. Now it's going to get just a little bit easier for a bit because we're going to skip the group color, we're going to skip the badges, we're going to skip the group affiliations. There's a lot of fluff we don't need right now, and you're always welcome to come back later and play with these tools. We're going to skip group type because general's okay. We don't need the membership. We don't need guides. We don't need the Q&A. But now we get down to another important area, manage memberships. Remember how I had you go private? Well, this is important. So if you already have a group, I really recommend you listen to this part because Facebook has made some changes. So you're going to click on the pencil and you can say, who can join the group? I like to change this to profile and pages, but you can just have profiles. Profiles is another word for someone that has like a Facebook account, like me, my personal account. That's another word for profiles. Page would be like your ski council or your local ski mountain. They might want to join your page, your group. So I think it's kind of good to have this open to both types of people. And so I click save. Who can join, who can approve members? This is another really important one. I like security with everything going on in the internet these days. Make sure that you have this changed to only admins and moderators. You don't want people in your club just willy-nilly accepting anybody that asks to join your club, because you know what you want in your club. So make sure you've got this set to admin and moderators. So that way you choose who can be in your club and if they're appropriate. And you know appropriate because if someone joins your group and they've only had a Facebook account for 3 hours and there's no profile picture, that might be suspicious. Who is to pre-approve the join? Let's see. Oh, excuse me, sorry, they changed the name last night. So this is another area. Yesterday they did a rollout and they changed some of the names. So I got stumped there. We'll come back to this one later about pre-approving, joining people and how to invite people. So let's skip that one for now. Manage discussion. This is another really important area involving security. Who can post? So we'll click the pencil. I like to leave it at anyone can join because I want my whole group to talk. I want them to share their ski day. I want them to say, hey, I want a ski Friday, but I have no one to ski with. Or I've got a ski pass, but I can't use a lift ticket. Does someone want to buy it from me? This is just a great community thing. So I really encourage my people to talk, because if you choose just admin, it's going to get pretty stale and it's going to be one-sided and it's going to be boring. There's no dynamic to that. So anyone can post. So I'll just cancel out that. Approving the members post. Okay, this is really important because Facebook used to have it when someone wanted to join your group, you could approve them then. Now, as of like 2 weeks ago, Facebook, when someone wants to join the group, they can join it without your permission. And so what you can do is I turn this on, because now Facebook, when someone goes to publish for the first time, no matter who it is, you have to approve that post. And once you know that person and you know the contents is good, you can approve them to continue to post on your Facebook. But that first time, you don't want someone that might be suspicious posting something really inappropriate for your group. You don't want that. So make sure you turn this on. And what will happen is, we'll go into that in just a second. It will ask these people first, before they published their comment, you're going to ask them some questions to see if they're really legit. And you're going to ask them to abide by the rules of your club. So we click save. And then edits. This is really lame. I keep it off because most of my people, when they go back and edit, it's gonna be like me. I'm the biggest typo queen there is. And I'll go back and I'll do an edit. And most people that edit their posts, it's because they've got a typo or they screwed up on a date and they want to fix it. I don't want to manage that. So they can edit their own posts. That's okay. And now this part down here, we'll skip all this here, the advanced settings for now. You can always come back later once you've got your group going and play around with some of these things, but that's where we're going to stop here. And so I'm going to go just a little bit further before I open up for any questions. So now we're going to go back to admin tools. This is another place you're going to hang out a lot, being an admin. And eventually you want to just kind of play around with some of these, but for now, we're just going to play around with a couple of these. We're just going to go to group rules. And you can see I don't have any rules set up. But if I go to get started, this is really cool, Facebook, and I appreciate it. They have made some rules ahead of time that people have to agree to. And so here's an example. And so they have one, be kind and courteous. I think that's kind of silly. So I always say, I say, keep it real and be nice, you know, or something like that. You know, I try to put my words and not their corny words. And let's see, I lost the bottom. I'll just say keep, gotta highlight it. Keep it real. And then you can always add on to their things. Require kindness at all times. Or you can create your top title and your whole thing. Once you get into your club, you're gonna have a sense of what your club is gonna like and what you want your club to do. I personally don't use any of these, and I have morphed mine and changed mine over the years. And if you're interested, send me an email and I'll send you examples of ones that I use for my ski club and I've seen on other ski clubs if you need some ideas what to paste in there. And so we click create. Oops. I apologize. I think there it is. Facebook is rolling out code this week and we're hitting some of their hiccups. So if that happens to you, just go back to click rules. And so you can create another rule and we'll just borrow theirs right now. And you can keep going, all the rules that you like. And I've seen only about the maximum 8. I don't know what the maximum is. I don't really recommend going more than 8 rules because people get bored reading too much. So be concise and keep it right up front. What you want is the best thing. And after you create them, you don't have to click save. You can go on to your next feature over on the left-hand side. So now we're going to go to members questions. And you go members questions. That's not the best title because you think they're going to ask you questions, but these are actually members post. And this used to be called participant questions. So if you ever see the word participants, don't be thrown off because they're playing around with some of the wording this week. So the first question, the questions are the questions that you are going to ask the potential members that want to post for the first time. And it's kind of like the vetting process. Do you want them posting that comment? Because you don't want Bob posting, oh, you know, that effing, you know, ski resort, they hosed me up. You know, they won't give me my pass and I'll never ski there again. I don't want any of you guys to ski there. That creates a negative tone. So you're going to decline that post probably. But you have the option to block Bob, but you don't want to block him because he's a member of your club. He's just having a bad day. So you just decline it and you put a note, say, Bob, can you tone it down? Just say you had a bad day, and but we're not going to promote people to stop going to that resort. But if someone like Jake posts in there and he goes, hey, I've got a party and I'm, inviting some girls over and we're going to get lucky. And if you want to get lucky tonight, hey, Jake doesn't belong in your group. So you're going to decline that post, and you can look at Jake's profile by clicking on him. And he may not look like someone that's even from your area or even skis. Block that sucker. Block him so he cannot post again and he cannot see your room again and ever bother you again. So I just get rid of the person that's just going to cause me a headache. But if it's like a friend like Alice, and she says, oh, I had a great day, I'm going back tomorrow, look what I did today, who wants to join me tomorrow? Hey, that's the kind of post you want, and you want to prove it. And if she keeps saying things like that, you want to make her a permanent poster. And so you can say she can post anytime she wants. I like her. So, but you want to ask some questions before they even get to that far point of posting their question. You want to see if they're really want to be part of your club. And so you're going to ask them a question. Like you would like interview them. So I like to ask, are you a dues paying member of, my ski club? Or, don't say mine, but, the name of your ski club. And Facebook gives you 3 options. You can do a checkbox, multiple choice, or written answers. In this day and age, I recommend written answers because there are spy bots that can click away on things. And this forces the person to write yes or no. And I'm going to click save. And I like to ask maybe 2 or 3 questions, because once again, too many questions, you're going to lose them. So my next one is, this is where I start tripping them up a little bit. I'll say, what city do you live in? And sometimes they'll say the city that we have our club in, but sometimes they'll be honest and say, I'm from, oh gosh, Mexico City. And it's like, well, that's kind of weird. But you know what? I have people in my ski club that actually live out of state half the year. And we do have people in Mexico that are part of our ski club. So, and once again, I go to multiple choice. So I want to kind of just start screening, making them think, oh, are they part of this area? And I click save. And then I ask one more question, and this usually trips them up. What is your main ski mountain? And if they can't name a ski resort near you or refuse to answer it, they're probably a bogus account, a fake one. And you can delete them just on that. And then this whole area is very important to do. I cannot stress it enough. And the very last part that I wish I could put a big gold star here to do. I want you to click under group rules, make it turn blue, that little switch. You're asking them before they can post their question that they agree to your group rules that we just created in that last step. And if they can't agree to it, they cannot post. And if they post something and it breaks one of the violations, they're out. It makes it easier legally to kick them out. But if you don't say they don't belong to you don't have that, they're going to say, what rules? I didn't see any rules. So this just makes everything just cut and dry. And I don't like drama. I want things easy. I don't want to spend all day babysitting people. And so I know this takes time, but later on, it just gets rid of the nuisance people. So you don't have to do it. And Facebook will be fun and a breeze. So that's where we're at with this. Okay, let me look at my notes here because I want to make sure I haven't skipped anything. Okay. Okay, so this is a good time to ask any questions before we go on to the next section that is a little bit more easier.
Becky, this is Shauna. I have a
Uh-huh.
question regarding public versus private. If a group
Okay.
is, if a group originally starts as private, is it possible to make it public?
Good question. You can, or let's see, I believe you can. I know you can make them go from hidden to visible, but let me do a test. Let me write that down. See, it's private, and is it hidden or is it visible?
It's,
Do you know?
that's a good question. I think it may be visible, but I just had that question. I've seen it in a couple of groups and I just wasn't sure.
Okay, if we've got time after this, I can go to one of my private ones and click on it to see what happens, but I don't want to throw off everybody by suddenly switching screens big time.
Okay, perfect.
But we can go to that, or we could do it within this real quick at the end of the session. And or if not, if we run out of time, I can email you. So
Thank you.
Becky,
and let me get your name again. So your name is
I'm Shauna Kinsey.
Shauna, sorry.
and Becky, this is Todd. I actually, so I created the NBS Western Region official group. And when I created it as private because we were having some challenges with the other group, the original group that we had. So I tried to change it to public, and Facebook told me that since there were people who had joined it as private, that would be a privacy a privacy impact because
Okay.
if I took it to public. It was very interesting. So I think they may have said something like, if you really want to make it public, then you have to do this, this, and this. And I stopped reading. But
How long
but
ago
yeah,
was
it
that,
was
Todd?
interesting. Maybe within the last month or so.
Okay, things have changed drastically in the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
Facebook is wanting to make everything more transparent, and that's why they're making groups that are public. Anybody can join them without vetting. And so let me do a quick test, but I think you might be right because
Oh,
it used to be.
You don't have to do that now.
Yeah,
don't
but
worry about it.
we'll do it later
Yeah.
and test that.
Yeah.
But I do know that you can go from public from private, and that's why I'm kind of recommending everybody starting out with public. And if it doesn't work out, go ahead and feel free to click private, but keep your club visible. You don't want to hide your club. If the reason for hidden is, and this is a something you might consider doing before you do your club one, is do a practice one and invite your best friend or invite your husband or your wife or someone in your family to join it, and keep it private and hidden. That way no one can see that it exists. And a private is no one can see your comments inside, but a public one, everyone can see the comments. So
Becky,
that's
you have
the difference.
one hand raised.
Oh yes, I see that. George.
Oh, okay, that's Jerry. My
Oh,
name's
George,
Jerry.
sorry.
It's okay to say George. That's right. Anyhow, I want to know if the pages are associated with the administrator, the person that creates it. Reason I ask, my Facebook account got hacked about a month ago, and I remember I created our ski club's page several years ago, and now people cannot find myself or the club's page. And
Oh no.
so I'm just wondering, is it the same with
Yeah.
group?
And have you got the hack problem all cleared up?
No.
That's probably it. Facebook probably has you blocked as a suspicious account. And you probably need to clear that up. I'd contact Facebook if you can. There's under here, if you can see this, I'm going to go to the very top, and here, I need to move this over a little bit so I can see. There's a down arrow. Oops, need to move it over. And under here is help and support.
Mhm.
And you can write to Facebook and saying, I'm having problems with my account.
I can't even get into Facebook. It seems
Oh,
like
you
I have
can't
to
even
create,
get into Facebook.
no, I have to create a new account, I believe.
Yeah, that might be the best thing to do, is create a new account and then contact Facebook about your old account and see if you can recover it.
Okay. All
And
right, thank you.
if you have problems still, feel free to send me an email, and I have some other workarounds for you that we can consider to
Okay,
get you back up and going.
thank you very much.
And your first question, is your page associated with your account? Yeah, it can be. And so you do want to get that cleaned up.
Is there any way, oh, the page, but not necessarily the group?
Both.
Okay, because
If you are the creator of both, you will jeopardize both the page or the group.
so since our clubs, our leadership changes every so often, is there any way you would suggest setting it up so that there'd be a continuation, a continuum of the Facebook pages, no matter who's in leadership position? Say, for
Excellent
instance, this person
question.
passes, then how are we going to get in?
You know, in my own ski club, Ben Ski Club, it was created about 14 years ago, before I even joined the club. And the guy is no longer a part of our club. And he's the original admin. But what you can do, you can add people that are members that are your club, that are members in your Facebook group. Click on their membership. We can go on that later, or I can give you that information later, how to make, writing this down. Make one of your members an admin. I highly, highly recommend that you at least have one other person be an admin with you, because one, what if you're sick, for a week? What if you want to go on a vacation? What if your account gets jeopardized? You still have someone who can carry the torch. Or what if you step down from the club and you leave the area? Someone else can carry on. And so I have about 4 to 5 people as admins on my group as backups. And the nice thing too is I can ask them, because they're being admins, it just kind of shares the workload. If we want to change something in our club, saying, well, what's your feel? Do you think, we should be posting this? Or do you think that was appropriate what that person said? Many hands make the work light and a lot more fun. So please add more people. Good question. And I'll send that out too at the end, how to make a member that's in your club an admin. But first, ask them. Just don't make them an admin. That's another tip, is ask them, explain what an admin is, that you're just going to help approve posts. And if someone has questions, you're just going to guide them. And so once we get it set up, it gets to be pretty easy peasy.
Oh, sorry, Terry and Shauna. I'm sorry I didn't ask you to make you admins way back when we did that.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Thank you, privacy officer.
And you can always make someone a moderator, where they just kind of don't have all the tools to make changes, but they can be helpers. And say that one of your admins gets a little control nuts and you don't agree, and the club agrees that Billy should not be an admin anymore because he's gone rogue. You can go in and change. If you are the original admin, you can remove Billy as an admin and just keep him as a member. So admins are not forever. Okay. Ready to go on to the next fun part?
Ready?
All right. So now we're going to cruise on over to the left. We're going to scroll up And I'm way up here at the home button. So this is another area that is a zone that you're going to get familiar with, because the thing is, it always takes you back to the look of the page or your group. So one of the first things we're going to do is here. This is a nice, exciting, colorful page, but it doesn't really represent a ski club. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to do upload photo. And sorry, can I pause here? I have to keep moving. I should have had dual monitors today, and I don't. And I have to move things around. I have a folder that I created already. It's called Ski Folder. And I'm going to pick a nice horizontal picture. Let's see here. I had some examples here. Oh, here. So, oh, what happened here? Okay, this might happen to you. If your picture's too small, you will get this error saying, try a different picture. Your cover must be 400 pixels by 150 pixels. I apologize. This error is not in your handout, and that's going to be in your new handout I'm going to send to you. This is very common, but it's an easy fix. And I'm going to close, and I'll show you later on how we can make that picture I wanted to work. So I'm going to go to edit again and upload. And I made that picture just a little bit bigger. We'll talk about pixels in a bit, so don't get intimidated. And I again select that picture again. And voila, there it is. It's a little grainy, and you can drag it around and get in position. But
Hey,
I like
wait
this.
a minute.
There's that guy.
Do you recognize anybody? The things that you find on the internet, I swear.
Oh, God.
But you can say, I love this photo, but darn it, it's too grainy. Oh. So once again, I'm going to hit cancel. And I'm going to go to edit. Edit, okay, and upload photo. This is the easiest way. And let me just choose another group here. Let's see, maybe it was this one. There we go. Got lots of smiling faces in here. And so they look like they're having fun. So we like it. So we click on Save Changes. And the cool thing is you can change your picture anytime you like, because you will always see this edit thing right here. Your club members will not. And so you can go in there and change it season to season, week to week, or whenever you got a better picture. And so that's how you do that. Okay.
Can you make that a animated GIF?
I think you can now. I haven't done that, but I think you can, because I know you can do obviously the animated GIFs in the post. Okay. And so that is one thing you could consider. But we'll come back to the animated GIFs and choosing pictures and how that all looks. The next step we're going to
Becky. Sorry, just for those on the call, be very aware of pulling photos that if you have a photo, use photos you have rights to post, because there are companies that are going around and finding copyrighted photos. We've had a couple of issues within some clubs within the far west, where they actually came in and they demanded, one, that you cease and desist, and then you also send some money to them, and they won't press charges. It was something that was very interesting and presented a couple of. So if you, let's see, The way they find copyrighted files is by the file names. They run internet scanners by file names, and they're looking for certain file names. So if you just saved it down and it was the file name on a magazine or something like that, and they went through and did a spider to find where that file name was being used, that's how they track it. So you didn't hear from me to change your file name if you're posting it.
I agree
But-
that I'm gonna go into that soon about how to manipulate
Oh, okay.
pictures. But
Yeah.
if this had gone public, what I'm doing with you, I would have asked permission from my sources pictures, but I just grabbed them off the internet real quick a couple days ago. But yes, I recommend that you get pictures that either you have taken, your club, send an email out to your club members saying, hey, if you've been on any ski trips or ski days in the last 2 years and you have some great photos, email them to me. Create your own photo library of your own source. And if you can't, and you grab them from the internet, I personally click on the internet it belongs to, and I write to them personally and I say, I like your picture and this is my ski club. And I think it'd be really great. I'll be glad to give you credit to your ski resort or your ski gear if you let me use your photograph. And every time they said yes. And they say, as long as you put my name on there and my website. And so we've stayed cool that way. And like Todd said, if you don't know the source, but you like it, like Todd said, I didn't say this, change the name of the file from like Bob's photo gallery to ski day with friends, something totally different. And then take it, I'll show you soon how, you take it into a paint program and change the size a little bit. That will also kind of throw off those searchers because they're going to be looking for a file size that's the same file size. But we'll get into that. But the key thing is ask your peers, use photographs that you might have seen in your newsletters, your website, and just start creating a folder that's your photo library. And at first it starts slow, but you'll be amazed. I probably have close to 100,000 pictures now. And so, that's start creating your own photo library from your own sources is the best way. So good topic. Thank you for mentioning that, Todd.
Thank you.
Okay, so going forward, we're going to talk about inviting your group. The blue button up here is how you invite people. And personally, this is how I kind of like to do it because I don't like to put pressure on people that they have to strong arm join the Facebook because not everybody is Facebookers. So I like to start out with my own personal friends and I click there and oh, this is special. No friends to invite. I do have friends, I swear. Okay. I don't know what's going on with Facebook this morning. Usually this will load up with all your friends. I have close to like 500 or 600 friends.
Wow.
And usually, I apologize. Maybe we'll come back to this. I don't know what's going on. But you like say Todd was on the list right here. Let's pretend instead of the no friends, it'll have like a picture of icon of Todd and it'll have Todd's name. And I would click on it and it would automatically move to this file over here, this column. And so I choose everybody that belongs to my ski club that it happens to be Facebook friends with me already. And I send them invites because I have a good feeling that they're my friends and they're part of my ski club. 99% of the time, they're going to join. And then you click down here, and I'm sorry, it's grayed out. It says send invites down here. And so we'll come back to this and hopefully it'll be fixed. when Facebook rolls out codes to change things, a few things break temporarily, but they'll have this fixed soon. Another way to invite people is, like I said, I like to do the no pressure personally. I go up here and I go up to the URL address and I select it and do Control-C for copy, and I put it into like an email, and I email it to my club members if I have a, if you belong to like Google Groups, and you can send out a broadcast, or you could send it to your send it to your newsletter person and tell people to join. Those are the best ways. There's another way you can do it if you know Excel. And I apologize if this is a little bit complicated, but I'll go over it just really fast. You go back to settings, and we saw this briefly under manage memberships. You go to pre-approved join, and you would click on this, and you'd go to upload file, and then you would download this template that would go in. You can open in Excel, and it gives you a template of what to enter. And I believe it's just your member's email address only. And when if you have the whole column of all the email address, Facebook will send them an invite, your whole club, an invite to come join this group, and they'll provide them a link. And then you would click, or you can just go in here and say, upload, the file. And so that's how you would do that. So, but that's a little bit complicated. I've inherited several groups, so it wasn't productive for me to do that. If you already have a group or existing, it's best to go manually and just reach out to your members to keep joining. So those are the ways to invite people into your group. Okay, we're gonna go back to home. Do you have any questions about inviting? Okay. Now we'll go into the fun stuff. Most of you have probably done a post before on Facebook. This is the area right here. You just give it a good old click, and you just type in your first comment or your first post. And so it'll type away. And the nice thing is, it does have, it does see if it does typos. See how it's already underlining it under red? So it'll correct your typos. And then to add a picture to make your post more interesting, you click on the green icon, photo and video. And then you can choose a picture and click open. And it loads the picture down below. And let's see, I'm having troubles with my Zoom stuff getting in the way here. Okay, and post. So we got our first little test one here. Let's say you want to edit it. You just click these three dots. These three dots are going to be your other best friend. And that's a reminder at the end on the last page of the handout I gave you, because that allows you to edit and delete. So let's say we want to edit, and let's say we got a picture here we want to use instead. And let's see, where did that little guy go? Okay, I think it's this guy here. And next time I do a tutorial, I'm gonna do a split screen, sorry. Okay, and open. Oops, it didn't get rid of this guy, so I grouped here. To get rid of a picture, you just click on the X, and we'll upload that guy again. And you look at it and say, ooh, that's kind of nasty looking. You know, he was cute, real small. Have you seen that before in pictures? They're just really grainy. You don't want to use that picture. You just don't. So you want to go back to something that's clear. So we can go back to something like this. And so you can always edit your text too during this time and type something different. And then whatever you make your edits, you just click on save. And this is where you can also add videos in a post, or you can add a GIF. And then when you heard the word GIF, that means it's an animated picture file. And so that's what you can add in there if you'd like to. I'm going to talk briefly about pictures. If you have a picture you like and you want to edit it because it has too much information, most of your laptop computers come with a paint program. You either have paint right here, or you have this program here. I think it's called Photos. It's not highlighting. But I'll just use the paint program today. And they are a free program that come with all your computers. So you don't have to worry about having Photoshop or something fancy. And we're going to go open. And you can choose a picture. And let's just see. You have a picture like this, a group of skiers. And you say, well, that's great, but I just want the first guy. So you can just do some manipulation right here and crop. Or like what Todd was talking about, just changing your file a little bit. I'll make it slightly smaller. And then I'll crop it. And then sometimes I'll rotate it, or I'll flip it horizontally so it's going the other direction. Just kind of play around with this a little bit. And then I go to file. This is the critical part that Todd did not say to do this, and neither did I. You go to file, and I recommend you save it as a JPEG. And see, this is the file name Todd was talking about. They're going to look for this code right here, these long number codes. I like to change it to a name I recognize. Guys being silly, or something. And then click save into my folder. Can you see my folder right here, ski folder? Make sure it goes into my ski folder. And so it's just slightly different enough. But once again, I highly recommend that, oh dear, did I lose you guys? Oh, there you are. Somehow my Zoom disappeared. That you ask permission first whenever possible. And you say, how do you ask permission? And so this leads me to, how do I find pictures? Like I said, first try to get pictures from fellow members. Take your own pictures is a great thing to do. But if you can't find the right picture, let me move this around again. I'm going to click a new tab here, and I'm on Google, as you can see, and I'm going to type in skiers having fun in the snow, or just any phrase, and you'll be amazed what comes up in Google. And what I do for pictures, I click on image. And so I see all kinds of pictures here. And sadly, a lot of them are going to be commercial ones. And they're going to have their, if you look at this one, it's going to have their copyright symbols. No freaking way are they going to let you use that for free. So we'll close that. But let's say we find something that maybe it doesn't look super commercial. I'll just choose this guy. We want to find out if we can ask permission. So I click on it one more time here. and I find the source, and then I'll scroll down to the contact, or usually on the bottom of their page they have a contact me thing, probably down here, like there we go, email. Say, I like your photo, do you mind if I use it for a post on my Facebook? That's the best thing to do. But to remember that you've even found it, let's go back to that tab here. And you go, well, how do I get that picture even on my computer? If you click with your mouse and you do a right click, this little window opens, and I do save image as. And so I go to my folder, and this is a PNG file, which is fine. It's a lot like a JPEG. I'm going to go ahead and change the name now while I'm here. Fun group photo. And if I'm waiting for approval, I'll put pending, because I don't want to forget and accidentally post it until I got permission or I manipulate it to the point, hopefully no one can recognize it. And so I click save. And so now it's there, but then meanwhile, I'll wait for their email to come back to me. And a lot of times it's private people or people, it's like it's another ski council. You can tell that ski council, hey, I'll share my pictures with you if I can share pictures, borrow your pictures. And I have that deal with a lot of my, within my ski council, I've emailed all my ski councils and I've asked them, can I borrow pictures or events and put it on my group? And likewise, you can borrow from me anytime. Every one of them has said yes. So another source for pictures and events is other ski clubs in your group. Reach out to them and say, let's create a photo library and share together. And so that's a neat way to start getting a picture, and also a community of other ski clubs sharing great ideas. And so that's another thing too. So that's, if you need more information about how to manipulate a photo, there's some YouTube videos on the paint program, but if you get stuck, send me an email and I'll be glad to help you. So hopefully you can have fun with it and just play around with it and see how it works. While I have you on Google, you're probably wondering, how in the heck do I come up with some articles to post on my Facebook group? How do I make it interesting? Well, one is I get my articles from my club newsletter, my council newsletter, and like Far West, I go to their websites because I know that anything I grab from them is going to be okay to copy and paste into a post. And so that's great. For my clubs, I like to provide them ski news, what's going on locally. So I'm going to pick on Terry. I'm going to type in Long Beach ski and just see what happens. Okay, here we've got
Water ski out here.
Yeah, I got a lot of water skiing. But you've got, oh, one thing I forgot to do for articles, I want to change, see how I'm on images. I now want to change this to click on here, more, and I want to choose news. This is how I find interesting articles in my area that I might even have missed in my own newspaper. And you can see what's going on. And if that doesn't work, you can't see anything ski related. Well, geez, Long Beach, how about?
We do have ski clubs here.
Let's type in ski resorts and see what comes up. Destination. No. Oh, here we go. Deer Valley. Okay, it's a little bit out of your area, but maybe you do go to Deer Valley. Or what is your mountain you ski at?
Big Bear, Mammoth.
Okay. And hit return, and I'm still on news. So here's some news about Big Bear, and that's really helpful for your club. So you can type up anything here as long as you hit news. you'll be amazed how many articles, and like this one's a month old, this one's 3 weeks old, this one's 3 weeks old, here's a month. But let's just say this is probably the most relevant information. So NBC News broadcasts it. So we'll click on it. And, you know, Todd, you might inject on here what you think, but this is how you grab this article. You go up to the top and say, select it all the way across. And I do copy, and then I go back to my tab here where my Facebook page is, and I click on post. And the cool thing about grabbing an article from the internet is once I hit Control V for paste, you just give it a second. Look at the picture shows and the article shows. And that's just really nice. So I always say, here is the latest. You know, I put in, you know, a couple words if I really don't know what to say. And then at the end, I personally say, thank you. Let's see, did it come from a certain station? Okay, NBC, Los Angeles. And for this information. And I've never had anybody complain, but once again, if you're worried, contact them, ask them, can you have, most newspapers and TV stations will have a link at the bottom of their article. So I'll show you that in a second. And then I click post. And so this is a nice looking post that looks, you know, somewhat professional. So there you go. But if I go back to that article, let's see right here. If we scroll to the bottom here, see, they got a Facebook link right here. And you could even use that sometimes. Sometimes they're easy to navigate. See, yeah. Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit of a pain. See, it's not going to let me go to a group. Yeah, it will make me go public. So, you know, if they offer it to use, dang it, this thing won't move. It's got stuck.
Try closing it. Can you close it with
Yeah,
the
I'll
X?
just collapse it. I can't. The Zoom title bars are getting in the way of some of my
Oh,
things.
okay. Yeah.
And they keep floating down and I go to the top. Yeah, so if they offer Twitter or Facebook, you know that they're cool having their stuff shared. So that's another sign that you know you're good. But I still like to give them credit, because the cool thing I found out is once they realize they can see that I'm sharing their stuff and they might do a search, they might actually reach out to my ski club for an interview, which is kind of cool. So that's a win-win situation. So that's another marketing idea, is work with your local TV stations and local newspapers. We have flyers in our community, like the source of the ones, social magazines you find near the restaurants that tell you what's going on. I go through those and post with them because I know they're going to want to interview my ski club sometime during the year or at some time. So those are sources for articles that, and another thing is emails. I get emails from ski resorts. I often ask them for permission if I can post their stuff, because if they're emailing me, they're wanting me to promote. So that's another marketing idea. If I belong to Big Bear emails and they're giving me updates about exciting things going on, events on their calendar, hey, if I scratch their back, they're going to scratch, you know, my back if I promote their activities or what's going on in the mountains. So copying and pasting from an email from a ski resort is an excellent idea. So those are some of my ideas of where to get some sources. But like Todd says, you know, if in doubt and you feel like in a gray area, always ask permission first. Don't ask permission and ask for forgiveness later, that does not work in the legal world. So always hold off until you can get permission if you're concerned. I want to show you some more fun things about posts. I actually post in my ski clubs because my ski club is, oops, sorry, wrong one. Wrong one. Let me find here. I'm going to open guidelines. Okay, I typed up all the rules to my club. No spam, stay on the topic, honesty, no hate, so what I do is I copy all my guidelines that I printed out ahead of time. And I'm going to go back to here. And I'm going to post all my guidelines I came up with earlier. Oh, it would help if I've done copy. Oops. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to do, select them all with Control A, Control C for copy. And then go back here and create a post. And I'm going to post them all right here, all my rules for everyone to see, because I've had people tell me, hey, I couldn't find your rules, because no one's going to go snooping around clicking on all the tabs to find your guidelines. And so I like to post my guidelines. And then the trick is, and this is cool, these 3 dots right here, if you click on and you say you want to mark this as an announcement, your guidelines will always stay at the top of the page as the very first post, and everything else will always be down below. But no matter what you post next, it might be up here temporarily, but eventually your guidelines are always going to stay at the top of the page where it's easy to find, because I've had that said to me many times, what are the rules to the group? I can't find them. And so as long as I keep that as an announcement, it will stay there at the top, and you can always edit your guidelines too. And you can always remove it if you don't like it up there. That's another thing. But I have had great success, and I think I have this in every one of my groups. The guidelines are at the top of the page. So that, cuts down on a lot of the drama. Another cool post that you can do is surveys. Let's see. Oops, maybe they changed this around here. Oh, dang it. They really did change this. Sorry. Let's see. It might be the 3 dots here. Let's see. Survey.
And can you share your guidelines with us? I like to see what you had listed. That was interesting.
Yes, I'll be glad to include
the
those
poll?
with my notes. Yeah. And was that on?
Were you looking for poll?
Yeah. Oh, there we go. They
yeah.
They changed it. It was survey before as of yesterday. So one thing about Facebook is right now their changes be given a little bit of latitude for changing the titles. I know I'm so sorry that I'm giving this tutorial right when they're changing things. And so feel free to always contact me afterwards if the language is different than my original handout that I did a week ago, because they changed things on me. So let's say you want to ask your ski club where they want to ski next year. This is a nice way to get a sense of community, especially during COVID time, since we can't meet in person. You can make some suggestions. You can say Big Bear, and then here you can add another option. You can say Sun Valley. You can say Mammoth, and you can add an option where people can have multiple answers or only allow them to do one. I like to do, allow people to add options. I really like both of these options, because that way they can say, well, I like Mammoth and I also like Big Bear, but she didn't list a third option where I want to go to, Lake Tahoe
Wrightwood.
or Brentwood. Okay,
Wrightwood.
see, I already goofed.
We have
So-
Wrightwood here.
So as you can come in here and go, well, I like Big Bear. And see, it gives me a vote. And then it's like, no. And, okay, so you said Brightwood,
Wrightwood with a W.
like that?
Wrightwood.
Oh, Wrightwood.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I've got one to add to my bucket list. Cool. And then, see, it already added it. It doesn't give it a vote, but I think if someone else comes along, they can vote on it too. I just can't vote on it. But they can add on to it. So that's a really cool tool to get your group involved. Okay. Okay. Any questions before I go on to the next fun thing you can do for your club? Okay, looks like you're ready for more fun. The fun thing to do is, what club doesn't have events? I like to include events that are going on my ski club. This year's been tough with the pandemic, so I include events from every ski area near me. Anything my club might be doing. My ski stores, I contact my ski stores to see if they have any sales, or if anybody's doing any Zoom things like Avalanche. Groups are doing a thing, or REI is doing how to wax your own skis, or you're going to finally sponsor or getting ready for next year. We're loading up next year for trips. We're really getting our fingers crossed that we can do trips. So let's get that events tab going. And this is a lot of fun here. You're going to click on this again and just see upcoming events. Let's see, I must be missing some. Oh, excuse me. I had to move my thing around. Click create event again. And pardon me, I have to move this around. I'm moving your little pictures around, sorry. And then we're going to be in person. And I don't know why lately it hasn't been showing Zoom or internet options. Let's see, go back. Does it have? Yeah, it doesn't. They were until a week ago showing internet options, so you could add Zoom meetings or anything internet. And I think that's part of our rollout, but pretty soon they'll have two things you can choose, in person or internet. So if you do have some internet things. So you can name your event and say, you're gonna have a ski trip to Wrightwood. Oops. And let's say we're gonna be optimistic. We're gonna say, snow is going to be awesome, like on the 6th. We're going to take a couple of days off from work here and have a nice long weekend. And that's the beginning date. And you can put the time, when you do a trip, this is kind of weird. Sometimes I put like 6 a.m. in case you have like a bus trip or you're carpooling from a distance. And then I click on end time. And let's say this is a nice long weekend trip, and it'll probably end around noon time, so people can get back to the city or back home in time for the week. So you just type in your time, and this is pretty easy. You just follow the steps and you click on next. And where's the location? Well, oops, I don't like Facebook to follow me. I will choose Wood Ski Resort, I hope. And see, did it find it? Oh dear. I'm having trouble scrolling. There we go, save. So, it didn't like that. Wrightwood, California, maybe? Oh,
All right, Becky. It's called Mountain High Resort, and it's in Wrightwood,
Mountain
California.
Home?
Mountain High.
Oh, Mountain High. Oops.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, still didn't like it.
Maybe spell out the word mountain.
I'm sorry, I'm such a foreigner.
It's okay.
It still didn't like it. Huh.
It is there.
Wow. Well, let's just,
Go with what you know.
it's not liking anything, is it? Let's close it and let's try again. Or actually, let's just type, let's try it this way. Oh, no, okay, this is a lot better. So mountain, high ski resort. And you can ignore whatever they're saying, or you might find it down here, but it's not showing it. So if I click on the white, it'll just take whatever name I say.
Yeah, just top Mountain High. I did see it earlier
Okay,
as you were typing.
so I apologize. You know, a lot of companies, as you're learning in the IT world, they're not perfect, just like us, and they're rolling out codes. And so they've got some hiccups going on this week. So bear with it. But if you get stuck after today, give me, you know, send me an email and I'll check it out and work with you, call you, and we can Zoom together one-on-one. So we got the location and we go next. And we're going to describe it. Say, 4 outrageous fun days. Oh, see, I misspelled outrageous. See, no, fun ski trip.
Good enough for now.
And then you can say where it's at. You can say the price. You get all the description. And then if all the more you don't want to put all the details. If all the details are already in the newsletter or on your website, you say the website events, or details. And so, and you can give the web address because you always just don't want to tell them to go there. You want to direct them there. And so, and so they know where to go. And click next. And then you want to choose, I always, marketing wise, always try to choose a photo. You don't have to. And you can use some of their dorky pictures here, but I've never used any of them because I thought they're kind of lame. But choose a photo that represents the place where you're going to go. Let's pretend, okay, here's, you know, maybe Mammoth. And so just voila. And so you want to show them something enticing where it's got lots of luscious snow that we can only dream of. And then you got to click on create event. And it's kind of like a recipe. You just kind of go with the flow. And I do apologize. We had a few hiccups, but usually you don't have that. And we're going to hit the, and oh, the nice thing is, so here's your whole thing that people see. They'll see the details, where to go. All this fun stuff right here is all listed, all the, you know, critical information. And then that's neat to see it there. But if you go back to your groups page discussion, okay, sometimes you have to hit refresh because we just created it. I'm gonna refresh the page. Refresh is at the top of your screen, right next to the web address area. And if I scroll down, voila, everybody's gonna see that event. They're gonna see it there. And up here where you get your notices that people have sent you things, a message, it's going to show there, which is really exciting. And let's say you list a whole bunch of events. All your club calendar could be here under events. Your members can click on events and it's going to list all the trips. It'll show this one and anything else. You can list your club meetings, everything. You know, they can fill up their whole activity for the whole year just by looking at your events tab. And so that's a really cool marketing tool to lure people for one click about it. And one thing about Facebook that's so cool is our age group loves Facebook, majority. They're already on Facebook. They're talking to their mom, they're talking to their brother, they're talking to their girlfriend, you know, and their co-workers. And it's like, you know what? I think I'm gonna sneak over and see what's going on in the ski world. I'll just click over and see what my club's doing. They don't have to leave Facebook to go to a website. It's all here. The
Mhm.
community is here just waiting for you to interact. And so that's a cool thing about having Facebook.
Okay. Oh, I do have a question. For events, is there anything special other than just a link to have an interface with Eventbrite or Constant Contact? So
You can
that,
put that down, you know, where I put, you can always edit your event.
Mhm.
Your members don't see this here, but you
Right.
do. So you can go here and go to edit. And we're gonna just click through till we get to that part about description. And
Mhm.
you could put the Eventbrite web address where they've got to formally submit their payment and officially sign up with the documents, all right there.
Oh, could you create a button and have it go to that site? Have it linked
So
to that?
you mean put the button here?
Yeah, like right there, like sign, instead of saying WW Ski Club, maybe it's just a button, sign up now, and then
I
it
have
links to that address.
I have not seen that yet. I'm not saying you can't.
Okay,
Sometimes you can embed code on Facebook, but Facebook is not liking it because it violates with their scripts and it
okay,
can break things. They rather have you go www and take it off their site so
okay.
it doesn't cause any problems. It's from what I've seen, but in the future, it'd be nice if they'd give us some button links to go to some event managing systems. But maybe Eventbrite could create a button for us to put on Facebook. That'd be that they got Facebook's approval. That'd be the best way.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I know that previously they had a place, they had a field for tickets, and you could click the tickets link. But to Becky's point, that at best you could get the embedded code and then try it, but I think Facebook won't present the embedded code from Eventbrite, because Eventbrite will give you embedded code for a button, but then I think, like Becky said, Facebook probably won't support that. They won't.
yeah, they could
they won't
even get to the
let
point
it
where they
present.
consider it violation and they'll remove your post completely. They're really getting strict of not even giving warnings and just removing things. Let's see, Todd talked about a ticket. I was seeing that recently. Boy, they've changed things. There was a thing here where you could have a paid event. Let's see, just trying. Hopefully they'll get this.
I don't see that anymore, though.
Yeah, it was here until a week ago. I apologize. Hopefully they'll get that back because a lot of organizations do have paid events, and I recently had to post the Far West ski trip going to Aspen on here, and it shows it as free, and it's not a free trip. But I had to post what the price was in the description. And yeah, so hopefully they will fix that. I think they meant well, Facebook, with all their changes, but they didn't take a lot of things into consideration.
Mhm.
So just to wrap up a few things, let me just get out of this. So we're back at our home page here. So I want to just review a few things that are going to be your best buddy. Is here, I need to move some things around again. Some things that change right here to create a group or a page. If you want to do a page layer, it's all going to be right here and not the plus symbol. Your home is always going to take you to your club's Facebook group, and you can scroll through and see all the stuff. And then the admin tools. This is where we started out, and we started out at the very bottom under settings. and we chose several of those settings. And then I apologize. I wish they had some of those settings all grouped together, but they kind of jump around. I had you go to group rules next, and then I had you go to members questions. So when the members ask a question and they've got a pending post, it's going to show up right here. There'll be a little colored dot, and you'll have a notification up here saying there's a pending post waiting for you to look at, because it will not post on your group, which is, phew, thank goodness, especially if it's someone new. So you go over here, and I apologize, I don't have one right now to show you. And right now it says I have no pending post, but if there was one from Jake, and Jake posted something that was outrageous, this is where I'd have to decline and possibly block him. But let's say Alice posted something very exciting about had an awesome day skiing, come ski with me tomorrow. You want to approve her. There'll be a button for approve, and you can read her comment.
Those
So that would,
notifications, I'm sorry.
oh, what was that?
The notification, do you only see it when you're in Facebook, or do they send you an email that you've got a notification?
Good question. I personally have all mine set up here because I have so many Facebook groups that my email would be nuts. You can't go under settings. Let's see. You can go under settings. Oh, pardon me. They've changed so many things on Facebook here. Let me find where settings are.
Notifications is set up on the individual's side. So
Right.
what ends up happening is if they turn off their notifications, then they won't receive the email of the update. But if they do have their notifications on, then they'll receive that. But they'll also see, as we saw, when the event is created, they'll see that or whatever postings, once they go to the group, they'll see it. But a lot of people still have their notifications on. Like Becky was saying, it would drive me crazy if I got notifications for all the times everybody posted.
No. My question was, like, my thought is, if I'm the administrator and I've got people posting for the first time, and I need to review it to approve them or not. After that, I don't need to deal with it anymore. I just want to know if I get notifications on, if I have a notification pending, will I get an email?
You could possibly, like us,
Because I may
like
not be going to Facebook every day.
it'd be here when you log in.
Mhm.
And the next time you log in, it'd be waiting for you here, or it depends on your own personal settings. That's what I was getting to. If you can find settings and privacy, you need to go into your own Facebook account. And I think it's under, they've moved things around. There is a setting. Let's see, I'm a little rusty here. Oh, privacy, no. There's a setting within here. I'd have to find it later and I can email it to you,
No
where you
problem.
can change
Oh, I
it
saw
to
something
having
for
emails sent to you or not sent to you.
Okay. All right, no problem.
So, that's one thing. Another trick is like, okay, let's say you belong to a lot of groups. I belong to a lot of groups. I mean, how do I find my group I just created? It's like, oh no. I've been there. It's like, God, I just created this group. Where is it? This is that search engine I was telling you about. If you want to look for a person, well, there's Terry right there. And but if I want to find my group I just created, Snow Chasers, right there, and it even tells me it's my group. Phew, there it is. Okay. So, that's how you can get back to it and find it and say, okay, create it. Because I gotta admit, I have way too many clubs or groups I manage. But sometimes you can get lost in Facebook, And it's always nice to come back to this little search engine right here to find people or groups that you belong to.
Oh, Becky, I did see where for Jerry's question, if you go to edit and then it gives you the ability to do a, I guess it says notifications,
Okay.
manage
Okay.
notifications from edit.
Right.
Is it edit on the page or edit within settings of your own account?
Edit in the group.
Oh, in the group. Okay.
Yeah, right there, the 3 dots.
Oh, yes, the 3 dots. Up.
And then it comes
Okay.
up manage notifications.
Second one.
Right here.
And then down at the bottom, member request notifications, get notifications when people ask to join.
Oh, okay.
So here, so I'll go through that again. Let's look. 3 dots. 3 dots is your best friend again. And you can click around these 3 dots. They're not going to explode on you. Click around and see what's there. And if you like any of them, and then say, if you create a group, like a test group, I always recommend, if you're nervous about this, create a test group before you do your ski club. Like I said, with your spouse, your best friend, your neighbor, invite one person, and you've got your test group already created and you feel good. And it's like, okay, you don't want it anymore. Just go leave group.
There's a note in the chat, Becky, that your
Oh.
group, there's an official club, Snow Chasers,
Oh, oops.
in the
I
Bay
will be-
Area.
I will be removing it. No wonder I couldn't use their name earlier. So after this meeting, I will be dissolving this page. So, so yes, it helps to have a good unique name. So, and another area is just get comfortable with the about, all these tabs up here. This is what your people will see.
Mhm.
And this is how you get back to your discussions. Announcements, that's, the pin post we did. Topics, I don't really know the feature of this yet. It's kind of something I haven't really explored. And this
Mhm.
is cool. This is your members. So right now I only have 1 member, but for example, if I had Todd in here and I've invited Todd and he'd be listed down here. Let's say if I wanted to make Todd, hey, can I pick on you, Todd? Let's
Go
see if
right
I-
ahead.
See, still don't want to add friends.
No
Let me try
friends.
it.
I'm gonna
No,
see if
story of
I
my
can
life.
find your group.
Oh, I bet why is because this group name. I bet you that's why I can't invite you. Oh, okay. So let me, if you don't bear with me, I'll go to my band ski club. Okay, this is my own ski club here. And where I find, see, I've got so much stuff now that they put my members under more. So I'm gonna go to members here. And you can see all our members here. And let's just say, I'm gonna pick on Mark. He's an admin in some of my other groups I use. I'm gonna click on the 3 dots again. And I'm gonna make him a moderator where he just is like a little helper. But if I wanted him to be an admin, because I think someday he could make the decisions who comes in the club, who doesn't, I'm gonna step down because I'm moving to Colorado and ski all the time. This is where you invite other admins, is right here. So, and if also, let's say Mark was a bad boy and I didn't like him, I would probably block him from the group. And this is where I like to look. I look at this with the recent changes. Occasionally I see who else joined my group recently and I can see their names. And this is the most recent one. This one came in recently and I'm kind of suspicious because I don't recognize her from my club. I'll click on her. And once again, there's no information about this person. And so I am a little suspicious. So sometimes I will send that person, if I go like this and I'll do a message, I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. I might send her a message and ask her those 3 questions. Are you part of my Bend Ski Club? Are you even a skier? And if they say weird things, hello, do you want to party? Then you know that they're bogus, and you would click here and you say block from the group, and you would click here, block Lima's activities. She won't be able to find, see, rejoin this group. And that's how you kick them out forever. But I like to give everybody the benefit of doubt. I may be too nice, but when it's really obvious, I'll just go ahead and kick them out now. If they have no picture,
that one would be kicked out. Because that
okay.
really.
But I don't like to profile, so I have been surprised because we have had people from that show pictures that are really wild, and it turned out they were a skier in my area. So you never know until you ask. But I've also had people that have lied to me that said they were in my area and they skied my mountain, and I went and I saw some of their posts, and I went back to them and I said, do you ski at Mount Bachelor? And they go, no, I'm from Florida, and I was thinking about coming to your mountain, but I never came. And so that person, I'll block. I tell them they're welcome to look at my group, but they cannot join. So I try to give people a benefit of doubt. So that's just who I am. I guess maybe too nice. So any other questions?
Oh, media, could you tell us about that?
The what now?
Media?
I really
Media
don't.
tab.
See, let's
Well,
see.
it's under more right there.
Okay, there we go. Media. Let's see. Okay, so media is okay for here. It shows a kind of a library of all the pictures I've ever posted for my ski club. And it will show, you can see, so I post some pretty weird, wacky pictures sometimes. And it will post videos. And if we have like a ski trip, you can upload like a whole album. If someone posts multiple pictures in one post, that would create an album.
Okay.
And so those are all stored there. And it's kind of nice because you can go back to these maybe 2 years later and say, oh, I want to use this guy for an Easter post and something like that. So that's something to do.
Have you ever utilized that for like after a trip, ask people to upload pictures? You create an album for this trip, and hey, if you got some nice pictures, why don't you upload them to our group so other folks can see whatever.
That is my favorite thing for them to do, because that's a great marketing tool. I find, whoever was on that trip, even if it's multiple people, upload it into, multiple pictures. And that's a great way to promote your club out, how much fun they're having and how they don't want to miss out on the next trip. So that's a definite yes.
I guess you could use
I usually
that, like,
contact them privately. So you probably have heard me ask me, contact them. It's like, well, how do I contact them? Right here is this chat symbol, and I can go to Messenger. And let's see, here, I'm gonna pick on Todd. And so Todd, and there's Todd right there. And say, hey, Todd, I want, oops, oh, sorry. Oh, pardon my emails. Oh, I hate it when it does this. Sorry. It's so rude when it does that. I am so sorry.
Be patient.
I want to post your trip pictures from last week on Facebook. Oops, Facebook. And I'll say, can you do it? Or email them to me. Easy, email them to me. Thanks. And so that is one way of communicating with your members directly. And then I could just send. So that's how you do a message and get people to send you pictures, send you articles, videos, anything that you like from their source. So good question. Okay, we went over an hour. I'm really sorry, and I'm sorry if you're on overload. I didn't mean to go so long. Gosh, I was really hoping to keep this down to an hour.
I know you tried, but it's good stuff. And
Oh, I thought we were on for 2 hours. I thought we were early.
we're on now, but it's
I'm
all
so
good
sorry.
stuff.
But once again, at the bottom of the handout that Terry sent out, if you've got questions, email me. I got the email, or you can even send me a friend invite on Facebook. This is who I am on Facebook. And it might say, there's a lot of Becky Robinson's, very common name, but if it says Bend, Oregon, and you see someone in a baseball cap with sunglasses or mountain, that's probably me. You send me an invite to be your friend, and we can chat back and forth on Facebook. So we can both be on Facebook at the same time and work through issues.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I gave you some tips of Facebook groups to join as admins. If you get stuck and say, oh, how do I do this as an admin? These are help groups that are totally volunteer. There's about 15,000 people and they all want to help each other. So it's a really, really friendly group. So that's some other resources. So thank you guys. This has really been an honor and a lot of fun.
Good stuff, Becky. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you very
and good
much.
questions too. So I wrote down some of these questions. So I'll be looking up some of these things and I'll send to you, Terry, as answers, and I'll be updating the guideline because, like I said, Facebook did some changes this week I wasn't prepared for. And you guys have been very kind to roll with the punches as things had changed. It's really not that difficult. They just kind of changed a few steps, but it's all good.
All righty. Anything else anybody want to ask before we wrap up?
Well, I'd like to say, Terry, thank you for reaching out to Becky, and Becky, thank you for answering the call of duty. So it's wonderful. This is a great opportunity for us to build operational improvements and to support our clubs. So thank you also to those club leaders that attended. This is we really appreciate your participation and engagement, and hopefully, it looks like you got value out of it. I know that I learned some things that I didn't know, even though I created some groups, but there were some tips and tricks that Becky shared, and as well, we will have ongoing Zoom calls where we will be sharing some different operational improvements. So thanks to everyone.
Okay. This is wonderful. Thank you so much, and we'll certainly be in touch with you with more questions if we have them. And
yeah, and have fun. I mean, that's the key: is have fun. Don't be afraid to do a test one and throw it away later when you're done. It's you really can't break it. So this is a tool to have fun and create some more fun for your clubs, and just go with it.
I do have two questions. You were going to show us how to, if we do, you suggested making a test and you were about to show us how to delete it.
Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and delete that one I just did. See, that was Snow Chasers. Okay, my group. Okay, since, good etiquette is if you have any members, you want to remove them first. Like say you invited your next door neighbor to be your test buddy. Remove that neighbor or your best friend. But since no one was in here, all you have to do is go to those magic 3 dots, keep showing you, and leave group. And it's going to say, are you sure you want to leave this group? It's going to be totally deleted forever. And you say, leave group. Okay. And then once I do refresh, Okay, it's gone.
And it's only gone because you were the administrator.
Right,
Otherwise, you would have just left it as an individual.
right.
Okay.
An individual can leave a group, but if I leave it and I close it all out, it disappears.
Okay. All right. And secondly, I guess to Terry and Todd, when will this be available? Will this be available for us to view again, share with, like our board members?
I can certainly share it with you, and I did. I think I responded to you earlier, but yeah, it's being recorded, and I'll be happy to share it with everyone.
Okay.
With your permission, Becky.
Oh yeah, and can I have a copy too?
Sure.
I'm not narcissistic, but I might want to show it to some
Yeah.
my council to say this is I'm trying to get my own council to this, and
Okay. Yeah.
I'm really impressed that you guys got it off.
This is-
And I'm hoping this sets
great.
a fire under other councils within Far West to get help and get started.
Sure.
So kudos
Sure.
to you guys. You're a couple steps ahead of everybody.
Yeah, I'll share it with everyone, including you, Becky.
All right.
And thank you again so much. This is great. My
Oh,
head is-
thank you. It's
my
been an
head
honor.
cogs are
And
turning now.
all right. All right. Take care and have fun, everyone.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank
Good day,
you.
yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye
Thanks,
bye.
everyone. Have a great weekend.
All right. Good day.
Let's see. Come on. And
Okay, I
meeting
think
call.
that's it.
Oh, okay. Maybe you had the power to end it.
Well, you heard the host now.
Oh, okay. Oh, there.